Hey, what's up guys? This is 9Lives coming at you with another video, and today what I want to talk about is the Killcams in Call of Duty World War II. This also includes the bronze stars, so that's kind of like the play of the games that you get at halftime and at the end of a match if you're playing any of the regular game modes. And a big reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I feel like historically the way that weapons get balanced in Call of Duty games feels to be largely influenced by community feedback. Much more so than actual fairness and balance, but just based on what the community is saying about the gun balance in the game, and the developers seem to make a lot of tweaks based on that. I'm sure before they make a change, they also take a look at their own data and the statistics for how people are performing in the games and what the KDs are for the different weapons and what's the score per minute for the different weapons and everything like that. But ultimately, it seems to me that the developers tend to find a middle ground between their actual statistics and what the community feedback is like. The problem with community feedback is it's incredibly biased, and I think a big part of it, there's a lot of factors that go into it, but I think a really big part of it that doesn't help and really makes for super biased feedback is the fact that the kill cams in Call of Duty have never been accurate. Ever since they were first introduced in Call of Duty 4, that's the first game that we got kill cams, they were not accurate then, and they're still not accurate now, 10 years later in 2017. So I read all the comments that I get on my videos, and you might have noticed if you've left a comment, I often do reply to them, or I leave a like on your comments and all that type of stuff. Here's an example of a trend that I'm starting to see. JMO here says, it's a little frustrating when you watch the kill cam and the quickscope is a good couple feet off the target, but the kill is still registered. Now, if you snipe a lot yourself, you'll be very familiar with this issue, and it's not news to you at all. The problem is, for people who are a little bit less familiar with sniping or maybe haven't been doing it as long, they see it as a flaw with the sniper rifles, and here's some more examples. The crosshairs are nowhere near the target, yet they still die. Massive hitbox when using them. I didn't know snipers could shoot the air and still kill. There's tons of comments on my videos like this, and again, I read all the comments in my videos. It's all over the place, and I just wanted to clear this up, because I don't want it affecting the way that the developers are going to be doing weapon balance in this game. So here's an example of a bronze star that I got the other day. And as you'll see in just a moment, some of the shots are nowhere near accurate. Check out this one right here. Definitely quite a few feet off the target, yet I do get rewarded with the kill. So imagine if you were a relatively new player and you saw this, or maybe you never snipe yourself, you stick to the SMGs and you stick to the assault rifles and you see this. Look at this. This is ridiculous. What is a new player supposed to think? Or what is somebody who doesn't snipe? What are they supposed to think? And it's not just the bronze stars where they're seeing this. They're constantly seeing this in the kill cams because it's exactly the same issue. They also see it when they're spectating, like if they're playing search and destroy and they're spectating another player who's sniping. It's constantly in their face, snipers not hitting the target, yet they get the kill. So I realize that if you're a subscriber of mine, I'm kind of preaching to the choir here, because if you snipe, you're very well aware of this problem. And it's been this way for years. It's been this way for literally 10 years. However, the problem is that when somebody doesn't understand that the bronze star is not accurate, well, they're gonna think that there's something wrong with the sniper rifles. And they're going to tell the developers, hey, there's something wrong with the sniper rifles. Fix the sniper rifles. They're too powerful. The hitboxes are too large. Look how easy it is to get a kill. You don't even have to hit the target. But that's not the case at all. And if you snipe, you know this. So here's why the kill cams are inaccurate. This is where the misinformation comes from. Players expect the kill cams to be recorded similar to a video, where there's a constant flow of recording just like this. But what actually happens is it's a bunch of snapshots. So the game takes samples of the player's position and their coordinates and what they're doing, and then they piece that all together to play it back as a kill cam. So it's more like a slideshow that's being pieced together to form back into a video than an actual video recording being played back. So when we compare the bronze star on the left to the live gameplay on the right, you can see they look very different. I tried to sync them up as much as I could. It was a little bit weird to sync because of the way they do the slow motion in the bronze star. But here's the bronze star and here's the live gameplay. Again, here is the bronze star and here's the live gameplay. So you can see that the sample rate is not fast enough to actually pick up the quick drag that pulled my scope to the right and then actually put me on target so I could take the shot. It's not fast enough to pick that up. And this isn't some weird anomaly that only happens every once in a while. Literally every time somebody is quick scoping in a kill cam or in a bronze star, it's not 100% accurate. You don't really notice it with SMGs and assault rifles, and if you're gonna melee someone with a shovel or something like that, you don't notice it because those weapons don't require a high sample rate to display accurately. They're not making quick enough movements with their aim to cause any significant difference. But if you are scoping in, doing a really quick adjustment in your scope and then taking a shot, it's not going to pick up that adjustment. And then again, when new players or people who don't snipe see that, what are they supposed to think? Of course they think that something's wrong, and they'll talk to the developers on Twitter about it, or they'll send them an email, or they'll write it on a forum or something like that. Sometimes YouTubers will make videos about it, actually not understanding this, which is kind of amazing to me. Because this problem has persisted for literally 10 years in the Call of Duty series, and even some YouTubers don't realize that this is an issue. So when the developers get flooded with negative feedback about the snipers every year from these misinformed opinions generated by basically the Killcams, and I think there's other factors that I'll talk about in future videos, but in this case just the Killcams, they're going to make unfair balancing changes to the weapons because again, they are largely driven by community feedback when they make any changes to how the weapons are balanced. It's not necessarily in the best interest of fairness. They want to make as many players happy as they can, which makes sense. And it's not going to go well for the snipers if people are giving feedback without realizing that the kill cams are nowhere near accurate. So even though they think they're making like an informed suggestion or constructive criticism about the snipers in the game, they're working with inaccurate information. So it's not really their fault, but you can see how it causes problems. I actually talked to somebody named Battle Nonsense on Twitter a little bit to get some more information about how the kill cams work in Call of Duty World War II. He's just a really knowledgeable guy for anything Call of Duty or Battlefield related. I mean, he goes really in depth into stats and the way things work in games on his channel. It's a pretty interesting channel if you want to check it out. But basically I was asking him, why does he think that the kill cams are inaccurate? And I really trust his opinion. He says that they're inaccurate because there's a low sample rate for recording player actions. And I asked him about if the problem can be fixed basically by maybe increasing the sample rate then. And he said, well, the problem would still persist because there's still going to be latency. It would also increase the server load because that'd be more information that the server has to basically transfer between players and more updates that it would have to do. So I just wanted to throw that in there because he did, in those couple of tweets, actually help me a little bit with this video. Even though I've never talked to him before, we didn't talk anymore beyond that. But I just wanted to kind of verify that I had a good understanding of the topic, and he definitely helped out with that. I didn't tell him that he's going to be in this, but he's a very trustworthy source for like how the game works and everything. So I wanted to double check it with him so I can make sure I'm giving you guys accurate information. So unfortunately, we can't fix this problem easily because we would have to either get the developers to increase the sample rate when they're recording player actions for the kill cams and for the bronze stars and everything like that. And that would put more load on the servers. And we don't even have entirely dedicated servers for this game. We also have peer-to-peer hosting, which means that one of the players in the lobby has to handle a lot of that network traffic of recording players' actions and sending that between players and everything like that. So it gets messy pretty quickly. As is, a lot of the players are already complaining about lag, and if we started adding more stuff that the network needs to transfer back and forth, it would just make it worse. So I don't know if that would be super realistic. The other option would be, well, maybe there could be a little disclaimer on the bronze stars or on the kill cams or maybe on the loading screens that say, hey, this replay is not 100% accurate, so that people know that this is just a recreation of roughly what happened. When you see a sniper that doesn't actually hit the target, that's because the sample rate is too low. Of course, they could put it into nice wording or something, but it's just, it seems like a pretty major issue to me because sniper rifles are notorious for getting nerfed every year, and I'm convinced that this is a big part of it. So yeah, maybe there could be some sort of messaging on the screen somewhere in the game somewhere, or maybe if all else fails and you see someone who doesn't realize that the kill cams in Call of Duty are not accurate, especially for quick scoping and for snipers, you could link them this video and they'll see the examples that I laid out early in this video, and then they'll understand, and maybe that'll help improve things little by little. But unfortunately, I think those are really the two only options that we have. Either the developers fix it, or we just have to spread awareness about this issue because it literally causes sniper nerfs when people don't know about it. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like. It only takes 2 seconds and I really appreciate it. More videos are linked on the screen now if you have time to watch more, and I'll see you guys soon with a new video. Peace.
And defend the hard point.